Welcome to Rich Scale Modelling. For my next build, I'm building this Revell Ocean Liner Queen Mary 2, scale 1 to 400. It's a large kit with a lot of processes. There's over 60 hours of footage that I had to get condensed down on this build. So this video is just more of a snapshot really of the build process. As you can see, there is a list of the paints I used. Now unfortunately, when I was recording, for some reason the part where the decals go on, I didn't record, so I haven't got that to show you, but there was only a few decals going on it anyway. So anyway, onto the kit. The kit was very cleanly moulded. I did have some issues. The hull was slightly warped, which it was only very slightly. I thought I would get away with it, but unfortunately it did have problems later on down the line trying to get things fixed. So I had to use a little bit of filler in that. Nothing that an experienced model would have any trouble with, but a beginner model may find that a little bit difficult. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this kit for a beginner anyway, because there is a lot of processes involved actually putting this one together. So with that all being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and the build. So there's no time like the present, let's go on with it. Right, so to start off with, I'm building the prop shafts that go also on the bottom of the hull. And there's 4 of them to make up. And then while they were drying, I moved on to painting the hull, and these are painted in Aquacolor G371, which is a purpley red colour. It's like a deep red. I painted mostly on the sprue like I normally do. As you can see, there's the main colour going on now. I took a few coats to do this, and so I painted it, then I freehanded with the white. And the reason for that I didn't use any tape was because there's a little ridge which you were able to pull your brush against. And again, the same with the black, and that was Aquacolor 09 for the black. So just putting in the ports now for the hydraulic system. Those are used to give the boat more propulsion and movability. That is why the propellers appear to be the wrong way around, but they're not. I drilled a hole in the hull to receive the wiring because I'm lighting up this kit. So because of that, I had to use some light blocking on it, hence why it's painted black. And I'm just again making holes for the wire to go through. Decided to paint the base in a brown colour, so that was Revell colour 85, and then I moved on to the lights. Now the lights are not the lights, the windows. The windows themselves were painted in the beige colour, and then into white as well for the edges of it. Now you may have noticed on this there that there's a masking tape over it. I discovered that if you put in just straight white lights, it's a bit harsh, so I had the masking tape on to black out some of the lights, and when I done a test fit through the lights, I noticed that they shone really well through the masking tape. So I decided to leave the masking tape on, and it gives a softer glow to the lights. So the soldering of the lights, again, is just your basic soldering kit, making sure you tin your wire and make sure your positive and neutral are on the right sides. You know, I mean, I've done other videos where you can see doing it in more detail. So there we go, this is the first light test, and now I'm just a little bit light blocking there on the tape before I move on to the decks. And the decks were painted in beige, and with the back deck was a slightly different colour, so I used a little shadower just to augment the colour on that. And there's a little holes in that you have to make in here just for location points, but going through the deck and just painting it on the various the main colours and the whites and things like that. Again, painting on spray light blocking, which is the black part. These are the clear window parts. And back to the cabins now, putting on the clear parts, which again you have to paint the frames, but either white or brown for the framework, depending on what satellite show we're doing. So just the supports going in now to hold the hull together, and the second set of lights now. The reason why I used those strip lights was because it was just easier to put that many in. I had to use the smaller 5mm light. We'd have to solder transistors onto them and so forth. But these ones, it's just a straight solder on and job done, and you can have a big strip going down. So in the end, only actually needed two lights with the shape for the lights, but just made it a lot easier. I did use a different colour light for the bridge, which I'm doing there, and I used a blue light for that, just for it to stand out. So this is the upper deck buildings and swimming pools and things are going on. So the funnels first in black and red, and then it's the outer part of the funnel and the housing for the funnel to be in. It was all very straightforward. I did have a little warping issue on the kit, as I mentioned earlier on in the introduction, and it was just slightly out, and I thought I was going to get away with it, but as I was putting the decks in on, as you'll see here, they were all going off and out, and that was because of the tiny warp from the main hull. I should have realised, but in the end I had to use some plastic putty to fill some gaps and things like that. I didn't really notice them until I was doing the light test. So obviously I had some light bleed, which the plastic putty took care of. Now moving on to the lifeboats here, there was a lot of lifeboats to paint. The colour scheme is very easy, it's just orange and white with some clear parts and some decals to put on. Once I painted all them, it was back to the main ship, not putting on the top furniture, and then once the paint was dry I put the decals on the lifeboats. They took some time to put on. As you can see, there was a lot of lifeboats to do. For the swimming pools I used Realistic Water by Woodland Sciences. Woodland Sins, actually, I think it is, yeah. And so I just painted the bottom with a sort of aqua greeny colour and poured in this solution. It hardens overnight or 24 hours, sometimes better to leave it, and then you just pour it in and top it up because it will shrink. So it takes a couple of goes, but it does give an effect of water in the swimming pool. The tennis court and the football pitch you see on the top deck there is on the bottom right of the screen, and now at the top. I did actually get that wrong. I put the decals on the wrong sides, and subsequently I put in on the clear court panels on the wrong way. So I didn't notice until afterwards. So you've got one decal sticking out from the clear wall. It's a little bit annoying, and I suppose I could take them off and refit them, but it would mean taking off the decals, repainting and things like that, so I decided just to leave it like that. So that is the main build really, and all self-explanatory watching this. As I said, this is just a snapshot. So, but if you've got any questions or what, please feel free to ask them at the bottom of the link of the video. You know, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. But for all its size, it is a straightforward build with just many processes. All that's left to do now is to put a coat of Pledge Clear Varnish on, and then that will be the build complete. At the end of the video, there's a short slideshow of the completed build, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this. If you have time, why don't you check out the other videos in my channel. But for now, bye bye.